For today's cup of coffee, he has his new snowball mic over there.
Yeah.
God knows what he's going to do with it, but he does have that.
Jasper the doll from
Okay.
TikTok.
Okay, I don't know that it's so low. I don't know that will even pick up. If it doesn't pick up well, it gets axed
Okay.
in editing.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm sitting here drinking one of my Bones Coffee Company. It was, what was it? Mint Invaders.
Yes. Mint Invaders from Chocolate Space.
Yeah, and it's delicious. I added a little bit of heavy cream, had some whatever that stuff equal or whatever. It's in the blue packets, and it's tasty.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the Splenda equivalent, right?
I think it's I don't know. It's
Or
in
is it the NutraSweet?
you have the pink packets, you have the yellow packets, and then you have the blue packets.
All those are for diabetics.
Well, yeah. So,
Or just people who don't like sugar in general.
or can't that there's other conditions that they don't do well with the sugar.
Yeah.
So, this is not a report about diabetes.
I think.
Let me talk to you about diabetes. Today, this is actually a very disturbing story. I found it very disturbing. And hopefully you will find it disturbing too.
On what level is it disturbing? What kind of disturbing
This is
are
real
we
life
talking
spooky.
about?
I mean, the other stuff is real life spooky. Also, I mean, it's just a matter to what level these stories can affect you. This is something that can affect damn near everyone on the planet. And this is from Daily Mail by Jen Smith, March the 29th of 2023. And Elon Musk and 1,000 other technology leaders, including Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, is that how you pronounce that?
I think so.
Are calling for a pause on the dangerous race to develop AI, which they fear poses a profound risk to society and humanity and could have catastrophic effects.
No shit.
In an open letter on the Future of Life
sense finally coming
Institute, Musk and the others argued that humankind doesn't yet know the full scope of the risk involved in advancing the technology. They are asking all AI labs to stop developing their products for at least 6 months while more risk assessment is done. If any labs refuse, they want governments to step in. Musk's fear is that the technology will become so advanced that it will no longer require or listen to human interference. Now, as far as getting governments, I mean, now let's face it. These people, some of these labs and stuff on various and sundry fronts are doing things outside of the government's knowledge.
Yeah.
What makes them think that these other governments are actually going to comply with this?
You know, that makes you wonder, because none of them are going to. No government actually complies to the rules that they're supposed to.
And that includes our own. My God.
Mostly our own.
Shit, enemy of the people. It says it is a fear that is widely held and even acknowledged by the CEO of AI, the company that created ChatGPT, who said earlier this month that the tech could be developed and harnessed to commit widespread cyber attacks.
Yeah.
They say AI labs are
took them this long to figure that out.
They say AI labs are currently locked in an out-of-control race to develop and deploy ever more powerful digital minds that no one, not even their creators, can understand, predict, or reliably control. The letter also said powerful AI systems should be developed only once we are confident that their effects will be positive and their risk will be manageable.
Manageable by whose standards?
Exactly. It says no one from Google or Microsoft, who are considered to be at the forefront of developing the technology, has signed on. Now think of this. No one from Google or Microsoft. Now this came out March 29th.
Has signed on to put a
The
stop to
letter,
this?
right.
Of course they haven't. They want that money. They want that data so they can sell it.
The list of signatories is also missing input from social media bosses or those who won, what was it, Quora, whatever it is.
Quora, I think. Or it's Quora.
Quora, or Reddit, who are widely considered to have knowledge on the topic too. Earlier this week, Musk said Microsoft founder Bill Gates' understanding of the technology was limited. The letter also detailed potential risks to society and civilization by human competitive AI systems in the form of economic and political disruptions, and called on developers to work with policymakers on governance and regulatory authorities. The letter comes as EU police force Europol on Monday joined a chorus of ethical and legal concerns over advanced AI like ChatGPT, warning about the potential misuse of the system in phishing attempts, disinformation, and cybercrime. Since its release last year, Microsoft backed OpenAI's ChatGPT. Do you know how hard it is for somebody with dyslexia to read? Has prompted rivals to launch similar products and companies to integrate it or similar technologies into their apps and products. Musk has been trying to stop or at least stunt the rapid growth of AI technology for years. In 2017, Musk warned that humanity was summoning the demon in its pursuit of the technology.
The demon?
He said in an article for Vanity Fair, quote, "With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know, all those stories about where's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Doesn't work out," end quote. Musk was one of the founders of OpenAI, the company that created ChatGPT in 2015. His intention was for it to run as a not-for-profit organization dedicated to researching the dangers AI may pose to society. It's reported that he feared the research was falling behind Google and that Musk wanted to buy the company. He was turned down in his bid to buy it. Now it's CEO Sam Altman who has not signed on to Musk's letter. So he says that Musk is openly attacking AI. Of course he would. And
well,
Altman...
yeah, he's got some sense now.
Yeah, Elon is. Altman has said, quote, "Elon is obviously attacking us some on Twitter right now on a few different vectors. I believe he is, understandably so, really stressed about AGI safety," end quote. Especially since Twitter, they had their code or something breached, revealed, whatever. It was a huge something earlier in the week.
It was a huge fuck up of theirs. Like,
Yeah.
it was a huge breach of data.
You know that somebody that used to work there was the one that did that.
Oh, yeah.
Had to. And Altman says he's open to feedback about GPT and wants to better understand the risk. In a podcast interview on Monday, he told Lex Friedman, quote, "There will be harm caused by this tool. There will be harm and there will be tremendous benefits. Tools do wonderful good and real bad. We will minimize the bad and maximize the good," end quote.
Love that.
Explain that to these people about the Second Amendment. In an interview earlier this month, he said people had a right to be a little bit scared, and that he was too. He stated, quote, "We've got to be careful here. I think people should be happy that we are a little bit scared of this. I'm particularly worried that these models could be used for large-scale disinformation. Now that they're getting better at writing computer code, they could be used for offensive cyber attacks," end quote. I have heard
any cyber attack is offensive.
Well, yeah, and it's like Musk, you don't know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. He's probably just a guy, which means he's a little bit of both.
He's an anti-hero.
And it could be. It could be. What is that one that I haven't watched? The
Deadpool?
Yes, the movie. You told me not to watch it.
Deadpool. There's also they turned Venom into an anti-hero in a way.
Right. So he may be that person. I'm going to coffee
I
slurp.
think he's more on the lines of a Deadpool character.
And it's like, even as far as him with the chip implant, from what I have read, his intention is to help people who are trapped inside their bodies.
Yeah.
So
But that technology is going to be used for bad.
Right. And apparently this dude that is, what was his name again? Shouldn't I've already taken my glasses off. This Sam Altman, he's just...
I'm not familiar with him.
Well, he's the one that's open over this chat thing. And I have heard
don't know anything about that.
I have heard some horror stories about that lately.
Chat GPT?
Like, you've got people that are supposed to be professionals that are using that thing to write letters for them. I read a few days ago about the possibility of some of these students using those things to complete tests for them.
Oh, yeah, the people cheating their way through college, like with Chat GPT and such like that. I can see people using it, like, to write a script or something. But to cheat your way through school?
Well, hell, for years, we've always had those who cheated their way through school. But now imagine a surgeon that has used this Chat GPT.
Yeah, no, I don't want him, I don't want him operating on me if he does not know what the fuck he is doing.
Right. And that these people are relying too heavily on computers in any kind, rather than them getting in there and learning the stuff for themselves.
It just shocks me that, the world has finally come to this point where it's like, AI is bad. No shit. It can be really fucking scary. And it goes way too far. And if in the wrong hands, is used wrong.
And that there are always wrong hands out there somewhere.
Yeah, and they're the most grabby.
I mean, shit, right now it's a matter of what are we going to live through, Terminator or Mad Max, and it could be a combination of the two.
Isn't that how... I mean, an apocalypse has to start somewhere. It's going to be a robot apocalypse, and then, those robots are going to get blown up. But by the time that happens, it's going to look like Fallout. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fucking Fallout game. Fallout New Vegas.
God, if
Fallout
there's
4.
nothing left to do whatever.
Not Fallout 76. That game sucks.
I mean, it's just... And part of this, I don't want to say it's the news perpetually, trying to frighten people. It's just the world in general. Now, there are very much times that the media does manipulate people.
Yeah.
Totally, completely. But as far as this, I think this is a valid concern. And in the article, you can go and they have a partial list of some of these tech people that have signed this letter. Asking somebody to wait for 6 months is not asking that much.
No. But it's going to cut into their money because that's where the majority of their money is coming from now, is that development.
I don't know. I mean, it is just weird shit.
Because they're big investors in that. Seriously. They got their own AI.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who just over the past couple of days...
YouTube is basically operated by AI at this point.
Possibly. It very well could be. And it's like Zuckerberg. We've known he was a cyborg for years now.
Seriously, y'all are... by y'all, I mean, the people who are complaining about TikTok and all. Y'all are concerned about TikTok? Nah, you should be concerned about Facebook, Google, and all that.
It's all of it.
All of social media.
It is all of it. He
all
hijacked my story
media.
about my PayPal account being hacked. The problem is right now, and I did listen to somebody, you had heard somebody on TikTok that was discussing this bill that was being proposed.
Yeah.
And it is concerning because I heard other people, because I don't go just on the opinion of one person. I try to verify what we're doing.
Well, I don't go
now,
off the opinions of one person either. I try to verify my sources, just not with the
Right.
people that you watch,
But you had heard that one lady, and you're like, come here, and you would kind of panic. And it's okay, because I don't TikTok, I don't Facebook, I don't do any of that shit.
Well,
Got rid of it years ago.
she was just there, but I was already hearing about it. But what she
But
said was just
wait,
another
wait. Backtrack. You're getting ahead of yourself on this. We've got to identify what the it is. The
TikTok.
bill, which is supposed to be used against TikTok, but would end up being against a lot of different platforms and could go to the internet itself, as far as giving governments control over people, what they say. Had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the data collection.
Mm-hmm.
I think the government may be afraid that somebody is cutting into their, schemes on some of that shit.
But that's the thing. Literally, we all saw through this, like, the moment
Right.
that TikTok was being brought into the,
Right.
judicial system.
And so that is one of the things when you hear people championing some of these things, go and read these bills for yourself.
Yeah.
Find out what it really says.
Mm-hmm.
Because we unfortunately have people that are in office that they don't bother to read this shit.
No. A lot of them themselves, like big government people, don't even read their own documentation that is set out there in front of them.
I very much remember that you got to pass it before to know what's in it.
Yeah.
And bringing that hand truck thing, full of that. That is just... I mean, that was just... We knew we were fucked then, those of us that remember that. And it's just been... My God, they talk about a slippery slope. Oh, hell no. It's like a snowball headed for hell and keeps picking up speed every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But any of these things, and it should be, I'm not going to get political, but any bill should just be that bill. It should not have writers attached to it. It should not have any kind of language that somebody that has a third grade education could not understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're counting on the ignorance of people.
Yeah.
I think for every new law that's passed, an old one needs to be taken off the books. I read today where, I don't know, down in Florida, that they were trying to rein Disney in a little bit, and that they had picked up some kind of fucking law from before the Revolutionary War, that they owned whatever, that nobody could do anything until the lineage of King Charles died. All of them.
What?
Which means forever. They did. They drug that thing up from, yeah. But that law should not have still been on the books.
Yeah. That is a prime example.
Yeah.
Of stuff that needs to be fixed in our government that they keep on there for a reason.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you've
Loopholes.
got some of this, absolutely. If you've got some of this AI, that is not going to be to the benefit of the general populace. Because it will know all those little loopholes.
Yeah.
And it will use it against the peoples.
Everyone.
And I honestly don't think that Musk, at heart, I don't think he's a bad guy. I really don't. I think sometimes he's another one that...
He makes questionable choices. He definitely does.
We all do.
Yeah.
He's just in the limelight to the point that any kind of bauble that he would make, is worldwide news.
Well, yeah, and he owns a big-ass company now. 2 big-ass companies.
Yeah. And it's
always...
anyone
with that stature is going to be...
Sure.
Going to be subject to more ridicule than the average person.
And there are people that truly want to see him fail.
Yeah.
Now, he could have been one of these nameless, faceless billionaires and stuff like that that's pulling the strings behind the scenes. I think the fact that he is willing to talk, and he does usually speak the common language. He's not to where you have to have a thesaurus and a dictionary to understand what the hell he's saying.
Yeah, dumb it down for us just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. Because usually the people that are talking like that, that's to self-aggrandize. They're
Yeah.
not trying to communicate. They just want somebody to be impressed.
Yeah, pretty much. They
I
just
mean,
want to talk for the sake of being heard,
yeah,
talking.
absolutely. They just, if somebody is truly a good communicator, they can get information to the least educated person in the audience, knowing that the other ones will understand. So, but the AI thing, and it's questionable. And at times it's just sort of like, well, maybe we're really not there. Maybe it's further behind than they're letting us know. But with this, oh hell, it's further than we ever dreamed. I mean, it amazed me that Bill Gates actually signed on to this. Now let that settle in just a minute. I
He
figured
signed
that
on for the bill.
he did as far as them to pause AI.
Oh, I thought you said that he didn't, but
No, I thought I wasn't sure, but he actually did sign it to have the pause for the AI.
well, yeah, that goes into like I
It
I hope
shocked
they
me.
outlaw it in general,
I don't think it should be outlawed. I think that what they're
or at least to
proposing,
to a certain level of AI needs to be outlawed.
I think some of those deep fakes.
Yeah, that needs to be outlawed.
But you know who's going to use that? The governments are going to use that
They've already
shit.
been using it.
Yeah.
Hell, they also use like high-end prosthetics for disguises.
Oh, sure. Well, any technology that they allow the plebes to have, all these governments and the deep states and, the Illuminatis and the reptilians and all this shit that truly are the puppet masters, they're 50 to 100 years ahead of what the public knows.
Yeah, but the public is waking up, and waking up in a vast quantity.
I hope so. I hope so.
And so the government's getting panicked at this point. Seriously,
Well,
so they're trying to pull out all the stops that they can.
yeah.
Hence why they're also trying to go after TikTok at this point.
I'm not saying that any of those things, because
Because, like,
any of the social media can have its upsides. But for younger people, that shit is toxic. That's the same thing for a lot of kids as drinking just poison.
oh, I agree. But that's why parents need to do what they are supposed to do and actually parent their
Absolutely.
kids. It is not the responsibility of strangers around the world to parent their kids.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Yeah.
It is our responsibility to be like, hey, this says you're not allowed on here until you're a certain age. And until you're a certain age, you ain't going on here.
Well, and the questionable judgment, you were talking about the flip phones and wanting some of those several cups back.
But even on the kid-friendly apps, I would manage what they're seeing because who knows what's on those as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say. With the flip phones, it's a matter of the kid can text, they can call the parent, whatever like that. They don't need to have the smartphones and stuff. But I think even the flip phones, don't they have a camera function?
They do, but you cannot like send pictures like you can
But as
with
far as
smartphones.
recording,
Yeah, you can record videos and stuff
because
like
there
that,
are
but they're not
times
good.
in our world today, as sad as it is, there are times that you need to have the availability of recording things.
Yeah.
Bless.
Thank you.
But it's just craziness.
Personally, I'm all for flip phones coming back, especially like if we get flip phones like how Japan had them, because they had like wicked flip phones, better flip phones than we had over here in the States.
Oh, now,
Even after.
I hate that you didn't grow up in a time where such things did not exist, because there was a great thing of just being able to cruise around at night with a cassette playing full blast. You didn't have to worry if you didn't want to be found Yeah.
That is true.
To where you didn't have that, where nobody could call. Even if they don't call, there's the possibility that they could.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is a very freeing thing sometimes to put the damn thing down.
And I mean, even with a smartphone, they can track you with that. Or with a flip phone.
It ain't even a matter of that. It's just a matter of people need to have respect for other people's space and their time.
Yeah. Literally, people need to realize that we are not AI. We ourselves are not AI. We cannot text you immediately back at all hours.
And I don't want the ability
Every
to
single
do
minute.
that. I don't
Quickly.
ever want that.
And that is anxiety inducing to
It
us that
is.
have social anxiety.
Well, that's the reason when I took
Anxiety in general.
there are very few nights that I have to have the cell phone in the bedroom with me, and I've explained to the people, I said, look, if you need me, then somebody gonna have to come up here to the house and get me, because I'm not. There are times that I have to use it as an alarm clock, and then I do not sleep well. Because it's that anticipation of, oh God, what if I sleep through the alarm or whatever?
Yeah. It just brings up unnecessary anxiety.
Yeah.
That's all the phones, at least the smartphones, that's all they bring.
But the thought of this AI bullshit, thinking, if people don't think for themselves, is it a matter of you either use it or lose it? If they don't think for themselves, they have created something that will think for them?
Yeah, pretty much. Choice exhaustion, what is that? Where you have to like get overloaded with choices, and then at a certain point your brain is like just burnt out, and so it struggles.
That's ADHD.
Nah, there's something with that.
Then you limit the choices. If you're overwhelmed on that, pick two and then flip a coin, whatever the two are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a matter of humanity remembering who it is, what it's capable of. Do not give your power away to these things. I think Musk is correct when he's talking about summoning demons.
I think he's correct as well.
I do. So,
and I think more people need to go out and just touch grass, and with AI, that's going to stop a lot of people from touching grass.
They're wanting people to where they're living in these cities to where it'll be artificial everything.
I mean, just imagine. Artificial grass, not real grass.
It's called prison.
That does not sound nice.
No. It really is. It's called prison. Final thoughts.
AI. It's dangerous. Yeah. It can be dangerous.
I think it can.
So I'm glad they put a thing on this for
it's
pause.
Not passed. They're just asking for this to be done.
I hope it gets passed. I hope it does
too.
And that's my final thoughts. Let's hope it gets passed.
Yeah. If you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, weirdness, if you've had experiences with the AI and stuff like that, I mean, all of us have had the creepy where any more you can think of a thing, and ads and shit or recommendations will start showing up. That freaks my shit out. And it's not just me.
No, it's not. That happens with a lot of people.
Yeah. So you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and the link to the article will be in the description box, and it does have the letter that they have proposed in it, and they've got a link to the full list that was like over 1,000 people that had signed the letter so far. It's worth your time to go in there and read.
Can anybody sign the letter?
No, it was just these tech peoples.
Damn. Well, if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. It sounds like I jumbled that in my head, but it probably sounds alright in the actual video. But and I am sniffing because I sneezed.
It's okay.
Have a good. Know that y'all are loved.
You are indeed loved. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Prayers are appreciated as well.
Always.